Caleb, you want to kick us off with Pablo Mastroeni?
Yes, thank you for joining us, Pablo. My first question, how much of an impact do you feel like the rain had tonight?
I think it was tough for both teams, really. I mean, it was freezing, it was raining. Um, but again, I go back to what I've been saying for the last few games is, the game is won and lost in both boxes. And tonight, up front, we struggled in the first half to create any kind of opportunities in the box. The second half, I think we did a good job of creating chances, but again, we weren't killers inside the box, and like I said to the guys, when Rafa is the guy making plays in the box, that's not a good sign. So we got to help Rafa out defensively, um, and then more importantly on the offensive side, we've been pretty anemic, and we just got to keep just keep working to find ways to score goals because at the end of the day, goals change games, and we find ourselves too often on the receiving end of the first one, which is a dogfight all the way to the end.
You mentioned making plays on the defensive end. I did want to ask you about, we've talked about the rotation on the back line quite a bit. And I wanted to ask you in specific about Vera missed a couple of games early in the season due to coach's decision, and Katranis has or not missed, but has not started a couple games over the last few weeks. Can you explain maybe a little bit of what's going on there with who's starting on that back line and what you would like to see out of those who are not?
Yeah, no, I think again, I think the one thing when you have you know a lot of depth in the back line is at times it's a blessing and at times it's a curse, right? Because it's you wanna create competition, but at the same time you don't want to create fear through the competition. In other words, where it's so easy to change because you have two guys that are competing at a really high level. And again, I think Vera with his left foot on that side, it's just a natural fit for the back line. Obviously, the way he played last year was fantastic, and it's really just getting everyone up to speed. And it's been tough when you're not getting the results to solidify a group because you're constantly trying to find ways, mechanisms to shore up that back line. And then in Alex's case, he's been competing well during the week. Sam has just we'll have to evaluate after this game, obviously. And this is the conundrum, right? We'll evaluate, and because we have guys that are so close in whether they start or they don't start, there'll probably be a change or two to the back line heading next week.
On the Apple broadcast, they called out Vera for not sprinting back on the second goal. Did you feel like he didn't get back fast enough on that second one?
I have to look at it, Caleb. I think it was one of those plays where we were high up the field, and I think the way we play is going to lead to some of those moments where if you're not, I don't know as much as a sprint as I don't think is as much sprinting as the guy already had two or three steps on him, and the wind was blowing in that direction. So I don't know. I'm going to have to review the tape and to give you an honest answer with that.
No problem. And then on the offensive end, lastly, just wanted to ask, you guys led in total shots with 15, but only four on target. Obviously, there was some desperation there in the second half, playing from behind. But I guess what are you looking for in that attacking box to just get more shots on frame?
Yeah, well, one, I think we positionally, I think in the first half, I think it's a tale of two halves, really. In the first half, we had a hard time holding up the ball up front. I think that anytime you can't hold up the ball on the highest line, you don't allow for your tens to join in, and or your wingers to get in positions to be threatening. So I think that was really the story of the first half. In the second half, we got into some good areas. Jesus had a really good chance on goal, or a couple good chances on goal. Sam Junkwa had one on the back post, and those are game defining opportunities. Those were as good as they're going to get, and we just got to be ready for the moment. It's and I think that's where experience comes into play, and you understand like where you should be. In having like two or three images of what's going to happen before it really happens, and that you can't teach, you have to live. But it's really being at the right place at the right time, and then having the calm to be able to finish. And again, that takes time. So, I think we had numbers in the box. I think we got into good areas. But the finishing part has been eluding us. And again, when you're not defending your box well, and you're not scoring those goals that 9 times out of 10, those are tap-ins. You're going to find it very difficult to win games.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yep.
Hey guys, we got Jesus Barea here after making his MLS debut tonight. Caleb, you want to lead us off?
Yes, congrats on making your MLS debut. Jesus, how did it feel out there?
Well, just a bit disappointed for the result, but I'm just really proud and grateful, not just myself, but the whole team for the fight. And we believe that this group we can do great things. And yeah, personally, I'm just really grateful. And yeah, it's a cool experience. It's the first of many, and I'm ready to go again next weekend.
What was it like out there in the cold and the rain tonight in Minnesota?
Well, to be fair, I wasn't even thinking of the call until the referee whistle. But yeah, I was just soaking everything on and just feeling the experience of my first professional debut. But again, it's not all about me, it's about the team, and we didn't get the job done today, but I'm sure this team has a lot to prove, a lot to fight for, and we have great not just players but people around the locker room that believe that we can do great things.
You had a nice chance there in the second half on a header. What did you learn about maybe being more prepared in that opportunity next time?
Yeah, I mean, I made the running behind the center backs, and yeah, I got a little touch with my header, but I just tried to place it in instead of just aim for the goal. But at least I'm getting the chances. It will be more concerning if I didn't get those chances. So I'm just taking a lot in, and now it's time to rest, and we go again on Tuesday in training. So
Now that you've had your debut, what are some of your next goals that you would like to achieve with RSL?
just win. I don't care about my personal performance. I just care about the team. I just care about get the 3 points, and yeah, we can build from this result and go again. This is football. This is how it works. You sometimes finalize those chances, and other times you don't. So yeah.
How is the connection with your teammates? I know on that ball from I believe it was Lachlan that had you on the header. How's the connection with your teammates right now?
Yeah, I mean, we were talking on the bench. We were like, even if it's 10 minutes, if the coach give us 10 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever it is, we just look for me. I'm gonna make that run on the box, and I know he has a nice left footy, so I just was waiting for the ball, and yeah, I'm sure next time we'll be going.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey guys, we got Diego Luna available. Caleb?
Hey Diego, appreciate you hopping on tonight. You've had some pretty great battles with Minnesota over the last couple years, 6 draws in a row before tonight. But what do you feel like was the difference tonight for them to get the win?
I think they put away their chances that they got in the box. I think they were just more clinical.
And how do you guys go about trying to get more of that in your game?
I think it's just with practice. I think we got to build more chemistry. I think we got to finish our chances. I think guys just need to step up. Yeah, I think it's simple.
And then on both the offensive and defensive end, Pablo Mastroeni has mentioned kind of the work in the box, wanting to be kind of better in both the defensive box and the offensive box. Do you feel like you guys have the personnel to put away those chances in the box right now?
I guess as of now, we haven't shown it. So I think, including me, we haven't, put our chances away. I think that Yeah, I think we just need to build more chemistry. I think we need to be more clinical. I think guys need to step up and wake up and put chances away. I think we need to connect passes. I think we need to be better in the final third.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yeah.